We're 3 weeks into OTAs. I don't know. What do you look at when you look at these guys? Anything standing out? Your thoughts on if it's a real battle?
Yeah, I still don't think it's a super real battle, and if there is one, I think Russell Wilson is winning it pretty handily. I think Russ had a pretty decent head start on Justin Fields, and he hasn't really expanded on that lead, I wouldn't say. In fact, I think Fields actually has looked a lot better over the past couple weeks than he did the first one. I think it was a really rough first week, but I think he's kind of honing the power in his arm. You know, it's not just all about throwing that ball 100 miles an hour or as hard as he can. It's about putting the ball in the right place, making sure your receiver can catch it, developing a rhythm a little bit. And I think both quarterbacks have done that to a certain extent. But Russ has been the more consistent one, the more accurate one, made some plays with his legs too. I'm just interested to see how, I mean, you were the one who actually pointed this out. But these guys hold on to the ball quite a bit, you know, both of them do. And, you know, it's a little different from when we would complain about Kenny holding on to the ball. You know, Kenny is sitting in the pocket, holding on to the ball, but these guys, you know, it's clear when they have a good read on their internal clock, I think, because even when they're in 7-on-7, when they're doing 11-on-11 and no one can hit them, they are making the right play to, you know, avoid whatever theoretical pressure is coming their way. They're rolling out, they're making things happen in the scramble drill, they're extending plays. That's the interesting part of it. I think Russ is going to have to do a lot to keep up with Justin in that extent. Like, I think Russ is a fine athlete, but Justin Fields is the much better athlete. And if, you know, scramble drill, keeping plays live, if that's going to be an important part of the Steelers offense, then Russ is going to have to make some strides there. Still early, but I still think that Russ kind of, that pole position, he's kind of maintaining that lead that he has on Fields right now. And it's going to be pretty hard for Fields to overcome that, especially in minicamp going forward.
Yeah, I still don't look at this as a real competition. I think it's got real in it, but it's clearly Russell Wilson's job, and I think that's okay. Russell Wilson hasn't looked bad, and I like that Justin Fields has taken steps forward. I don't think Justin Fields needs to come out here and win the competition to still be a very promising member of this roster. I don't think he has to come in here and be like, oh man, he was so good. Like, and I don't think it's bad if he doesn't win the roster, because what we've seen from day one and the last day of OTAs was constant progress. And that's a good thing, because you're looking at Justin as a guy that's learning from Russ, that's learning under Arthur Smith, that's learning from Tom Arth, who has an opportunity to grow in a place that's consistent, because he hasn't had consistency his entire career. That's important. That's where the Steelers stand. And if that's all you get from Justin Fields this summer is consistency and progress every single week, that's a great summer for Justin Fields. That's exactly what you're looking for if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers, is Justin Fields to, at the end of the summer, look like a guy that, yeah, he took a lot of strides this summer. He took a lot of strides during OTAs, minicamp, and training camp. That's all you're looking for. But when it comes to a quarterback competition, this is still Russ's job. And he hasn't looked bad. Just like you said, he hasn't looked bad. There hasn't been, I mean, Justin's got the upper hand on the athleticism. It's crazy when you're standing there and Justin Fields is just running all over the field, making craziness happen, and then finds a guy in the end zone or whatever. That's just, Russ doesn't do those things, but at the same time, when pads are on and there's no coaches there to set screens from and that kind of stuff, does it work? We don't know. We'll find out. Russ looks just as athletic as you'd want him to look, and I think when it comes to holding the ball too long, I think both of them are holding the ball too long. I think Russ is holding it a little less long, which is good, but definitely a little PTSD from the Kenny Pickett days of, are you going to throw this? Are you not going to throw this? What's going to happen here? You know, the only difference is that neither of them roll to the left immediately. No jab at Kenny. That's just where we stand when it comes to what Justin and Russ are doing. And I think that'll come, because I think the big question, and I said this to you yesterday, the big question is, are they holding the ball too long, or is there nobody open? And we'll continue to learn that as things go. But I agree with you. I think this is Russ's job. Maybe things change, but right now it's tough to see an instance where things do change.
Yeah, definitely. And it's tough for Justin, because I'm sure it's frustrating for him to sit like that. He came in here saying that he didn't come here to be a backup or anything, but sorry, man. Like you probably are going to be for a while.
Somebody should have stopped him and been like, "Hey, dude, have you been paying attention? Did Mike really have a conversation with you? Because we were told Mike had a conversation with you that this isn't a competition. So just in case you forgot, just in case words weren't said the right way, we'll let you know that it's not real." But yeah, I agree.